Hey everybody, this is Brother Speak of the Brother Speak podcast. I was listening to Polo. I don't know if it's just like some kind of fate or some kind just cosmic entity happened. Polo did a live stream about manipulation, how people will try to use you, and then it coincided with my ship briefing last night. We were talking about manipulation. So I guess it just came together to have me talk about this. And shouts out to Polo Sports and Entertainment. Check that brother out. He's been doing some great live streams, helping brothers out. And y'all really need to go listen to him. Subscribe to the channel. I'll put the link in the description. Probably need to be doing that. I don't know why not, but I'm gonna put it in this description and the link to the actual video that inspired me for this. So yeah, there's a lot of manipulation going on these YouTube spaces. Um, you'll have a YouTuber who's angry with another YouTuber, and what he'll do is get his subscribers and other YouTubers that he's cool with and start a little beef with them, saying, "Well, he's talking about you. He thinks you all dumb." And probably the YouTuber probably didn't even say anything, but his fan base, they're not going to go really check it out. They believe everything this YouTuber says, so they're going to just go with it. And now you have other people in the spaces in these this other content creator spaces going after them, calling them out, trying to dox them, all kinds of crazy shit that you would think somebody with a sane mind would, really step back and be like, "Hey, did he really say this? Maybe I should listen to what live streams he's probably had or content, and really find out what he said before I'm going in on this person for the sake of someone that I like on YouTube." But people don't do that. They just automatically believe, and then they just run with the narrative that this YouTuber that they like go with. And and sometimes you'll have YouTubers will go after another YouTuber and have you go after them because they felt that they were wrong. Uh, I remember this one time. Uh, there was one YouTuber. I think this was happened like years ago when, well, it's been like over a year ago when Ty just started, and he was having a live stream, and he had an issue with Rob B over the child support issue, and he was calling her B. Now she come to me. I'm in the chat. I listen to both things, and she come to me like, "Hey, why'd you let him call me a B?" And I'm like, "Uh, this is his channel. He has the right to say whatever he wants to say. It's a that's your personal beef." And she was like, "Bet." Now, this is the thing. She wanted me to go after Ty for calling her B. Um, for what? You know, it's just some things like you don't bring people into a beef where it's not necessary. And this is what people manipulate. They manipulate people like women manipulate men because men have a need to want to protect women. That's just an innate need. But some women will manipulate that and turn it against another person who probably a guy may have did her wrong, maybe did not. Maybe he turned her down. he turned her down, or he rejected her, or he left her, or something happened, maybe abuse or something like that. But instead, they'll turn another man against them, and they start fighting, they start feuding, and it just turned into some mess for no reason. And so manipulation on that end. You know, and this don't necessarily happen in this just don't happen in YouTube. This happened in real life. I know in my shift briefing last night we was talking about manipulation, and I've had this happen to me. There was this one coworker we had. This was an Indian guy, old Indian guy, goofy dude. Now I had this other sergeant who was African. So what happened was they've been feuding off and on, and the African guy, caught him sleeping on the duty post with a bunch of offenders around. So he called him the first time. He called him. He let it go because he old and all kinds. The second time he called him, he wrote him up, but he got out of it because he had told the lieutenant at the time, "Hey, I was sleepy. I really can't be over this spot. I need someplace where I can walk around." And they didn't switch him, so he fell asleep, got caught. He wrote him up, and they dismissed it. The third time he called him dead to rights, took pictures and everything, called him sleeping, rolled him up again. This one went through. So the Indian coworker and me and him were kind of close. We talked a few times, and he invited me to his house, which probably I should have never went to his house. Never would do that again. But you know, he wanted me to write Huntsville with him over some of the things that my African supervisor had done. And he tried to ask me questions like things that my African supervisor probably did to me. And I told him, no, I'm not writing that. I'm not writing that letter. He's never done anything to me as a supervisor, or even when he was not a supervisor. Never done anything to me. We used to room together. I never had an issue with the man. The only thing I've noticed him bringing women to the room, which technically not supposed to do, but hey, ain't my problem. And he was this Indian coworker who was trying to figure, oh, did you see them do anything in the room? I said, did you? I'm like, yeah, when before I left, he brought the dude woman in the room, but after that, I don't know what's happening. I work at night. He works second shift. When he getting off, he could be bringing women in. I don't know. Don't care. None of my business. And he tried to get me to write a letter to Huntsville and try to get this guy fired. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't have no issue with him, and I'm not going to turn on him. Till I have an issue with him, then it's going to be a problem. But if I don't have no issues, no, I'm not writing that letter. I'm not trying to get fired, because in the end, what he's trying to do is save his job and use me to do it. Been through that road. No, not never again. Yeah, and then I had another coworker, and this one was even worse because one I worked with a long time, he became a supervisor. The other guy, just a CO, just like me, and him and the supervisor, I think they had a personal issue even before the other guy became a supervisor. So, he's like, he's trying to be critical, trying to reprimand him for something, and he's not taking it. He feels like he's going against him, and he's trying to tell me, yeah, you need to be careful with him. He's trying to write you up, trying to get you in trouble. And I'm like, what? Yeah, he's trying to get you. I'm like, look, I mean, if he tries anything, yeah, I'm gonna protect myself, but I don't see anything. And the thing of it is, me and the supervisor talk. We talk a lot, and we're like, we're cool with each other. We used to work on third shift together when he was a CO, so we've been talking. He took a different path and became a supervisor over me, and I respect that and respect him. So I'm not about to do anything. I always ask him, how's he doing? You know, how's being the supervisor? And yeah, hell, I mean, my people just, he's African too. My people just they don't respect me, and I just a headache. I'm like, yeah, I can better imagine. And he tell me about, yeah, yeah, he got an issue with me. I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm trying to keep him out of trouble, but he don't want to listen. I'm like, yeah, that's how they do. So he trying to manipulate me to go after him. I'm like, I ain't doing that either. It's just like this is the craziest thing, man. People want to manipulate you into going into fuse with other people, and you're getting in trouble. They want you to get in trouble with them. But then you get into it with the supervisor. But when it's time for them to help you out, oh no, they know where to be found. I'm like, so nope, nope. I ain't getting involved with y'all beef. I'll leave that alone. This is how people will do you. And sometimes, people will manipulate you, and sometimes it's not even out of malice. They see that you are they have their vision of you, and then you have your own visions of yourself. And like Polo was saying, you got to stand firm, even if it's for the best intention. I know there's friends and family. They probably want the best for you, but they don't take into your feelings into consideration. And you got to make sure that you know what your purpose is and what you want to do, so you can stand 10 toes down when somebody tries to manipulate you. I got another example, and this is from my family. My mother, when she was alive, it was us all three living together. My mother, me, and my older brother. Now, my older brother has been struggling. Matter of fact, even now he's still struggling, but it is what it is. Um, he got this little job. Don't pay much, and it didn't pay much to begin. But then add the bad child support, yeah, it really not paying him much. So, he gives my mother some money. He would give my mother some money, and then save some money for himself because he needs money for himself. Now, my mother didn't like how much he was giving her. She thought he should give her more. So she come talk to me. Yeah, you should tell him to give me more money. And I said, Mama, I'm like, no offense to you. Uh, sorry, I had a message from my brother, the same brother, having issues. Anyway, so what was I saying? So, she was trying to get me to go confront him about getting him more money, and I told him, Mama, I'm not going to tell this man to give you more money. Well, he should be paying you. You paying the rent. And I said, mama, no, let's not go there. If I want more money from him, I'll go tell him myself. I don't need it. I'm taking care of the stuff that need to be taken care of. You taking care of the car note for the car that we have. I mean, if you want more money from me, you have to talk to him. But I'm not going over there. I'm not going to talk to you for in your behalf. That's between you and him. And you're not going to get me to try to get him more money because I don't need it. If I need more money from him, I will go ask him. But other than that, I'm not doing that. And she she listened. She didn't like the answer I had, but she listened. And that's the thing. People will try to manipulate you into what you want them to do. I mean, what they want you to do. Try to deceive you, try to start beefs with you, with other people, just to get you to go on their side and do what you want them to do, what they want you to do. You can't allow that, even if it's your family, your friends, even if your wife and children, because anybody will try to manipulate you, and you can be manipulated. Don't let that ego fool you, brothers, even you sisters. Listen, anybody can be manipulated. Um, I've seen it in the prison all the time. People they say, "Oh, they hard on inmates." I'll never let an inmate do me anyway. Next thing you know, they're bringing stuff in for the inmate: drugs, phones. One even brought a PSP. Anybody remember PSP? Yeah, that was somebody I wouldn't have thought in a million years he would have brought that, but he did. That's the thing. Anybody can be manipulated at any time. And sometimes you won't even know you're being manipulated. You're thinking this person is doing stuff for your benefit, but in actuality, they're not. All they're doing is trying to manipulate you and get you in a position where you are um, doing stuff that is not in your best interest and can cause you to wreck any type of relationship, whether it's business or personal, with another person. You can't allow that to happen. You have to recognize it and then cut it off right then and there. Because again, when people do manipulate, sometimes, like I said, sometimes they're not doing it out of malice, and other times it is. And whether it's not out of malice or not whether it's out of malice or not, you can't allow somebody to manipulate you. You have to nip that in the bud, because when you give people an inch, they'll take a mile. Then next thing you know, you're not even following your own mind. You're following in someone else's. So that's it. Nothing too much. And again, shout out to Polo Sports and Entertainment. I'm gonna put a link in the description. Follow his channel. Get some great insight on sports and just life of everything brothers. You know, and a lot of brothers need that. We don't need no more people criticizing us. We I mean harshly criticizing us. We need people, hey, they're not gonna take it easy on you, but they're not trying to demonize you and make you into the worst people in the world. They in the end they're trying to help you, give you some sound advice, which is what you need. Sound advice so you can be independent and live your life the way you want to, and letting nobody manipulate you into a life where they think you should live. So with that, I'm gonna bounce out of here because I ain't getting tired. I have not slept, and 5 hour energy is kicking is shutting down. So I gotta shut myself down. Y'all have a good one. Peace.